Now, in other news, Ukraine's President Zelensky is in Paris for a summit on peace and security for his war-torn country. Tonight, he's been talking to journalists, including the BBC's international editor, Jeremy Bowen, who joins me now. Jeremy, what did he have to say?
Well, you know, he's pretty happy to be here, I think. They haven't just rolled out the red carpet for Zelensky. They've lit the Eiffel Tower in the colours of the Ukrainian national flag, blue and yellow. And one thing he said that really struck me, actually, was he said that because they're having a summit here to try and get this coalition of the willing to provide security guarantees off the ground. He said he likes the way that the Europeans are not chaotic and they're organised, they're disciplined. And while he didn't state it explicitly, because he's learned his lesson about being rude about the Americans, I think that he was referring to the fact that the Americans cut off intelligence and security help and aid and cooperation, which did a lot of damage as far as the Ukrainians were concerned, adding to the evidence that they are no longer a reliable ally for them. And I also asked him about Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, who gave an interview recently where he was not just disparaging about, he was disparaging about a lot of things, but one of the things that he said was that this coalition of the willing that Keir Starmer and French President Macron putting together was just a pose, that they were trying to sound like Winston Churchill. So he was really rude about it, actually, Witkoff. And so when Zelensky commented, I think it sounded quite like a rebuke.
He doesn't look, he's a military guy, he doesn't look like military, and he doesn't have that experience. As far as I know, he knows very well how to sell and buy real estate. But that's somewhat different.
My question was that the Russians are putting conditions on all of this, and if they put conditions on all of this, how can you make progress?
Look, they put forward the conditions with regard to the sanctions to the Americans. If America is going to stand strong and be strong and not bend to the conditions of the Russians, we stand on our land. We're defending it now. And our resilience, we've shown our resilience to everyone. And now it's very important that our partners would be resilient and strong, at least at the minimum, as we are.
Will the Americans stay strong?
I hope so. I hope so. God bless, they will.
Let's talk about...
But we'll see.
Can I ask you about the reliability of the United States under Donald Trump as an ally?
We believe that the Americans will be our reliable partners,
Trump is reliable.
They are today. He's unblocked the aid. I would like to believe that this is not a coincidence, but he did it because he understands the threats that we're facing.
And you gave him something. You gave him deals and you gave him concessions.
Yeah?
I did. What did we do? What did we give him?
You agreed to an unconditional ceasefire when you said that there had to be security guarantees. You agreed to talk about the minerals agreement.
The Russian propaganda worked there very well. And I showed through these steps that we are prepared for the ceasefire. But you will see that Putin is not ready.
On a personal level as a man. And also, how do you think the history books are going to look at you? Will you be the man who saved Ukraine, or will you be the man who tried to save Ukraine but couldn't?
I was born in Ukraine, I live in Ukraine, and I think I will live my life in my native country. This is my goal, to see my kids walking along the streets without hiding. But definitely, I'm younger than Putin, you see? My prospects, you can put your stakes on me. I have better stakes.
President Zelensky speaking there to Jeremy Bowen.